Hello there and welcome. In this episode we're looking at the difference between an internal and an external filter. Are external filters better than internal filters? When should you use an internal over an external? What are the main differences? And which one is best to use in which situation? So let's talk a little bit about the differences, starting with internal filters. So internal filters are just that, they sit inside your aquarium. They generally are a rectangular or square box, and they contain media which can be a combination of sponge, pad, carbon, or anything that the manufacturer decided to put inside of it. But normally they are just simple sponge inside. Now internal filters can be pretty simple or really complicated, depending on the manufacturer. The fluval internal filter tends to be the high end, and inside one of these you have a combination of pads, sponge and biomedia in the middle. However, as I said, a lot of internal filters just have a sponge. Normally they have a flow control which allows you to speed up or reduce the amount of flow coming out the filter, and an outlet nozzle. So in reality they are quite simple. You simply put them in your aquarium, turn them on, and away you go. So let's have a look at external filters. So external filters, as you can see, are normally a lot bigger than the internal filters. However, they work on a very similar principle. That being, they have media inside them and they filter your water. However, the main difference with these is they sit below your aquarium and are connected via tubing. So instead of being inside the tank, they're outside. This allows them to be a lot bigger because you wouldn't want to put this inside your tank as it will take up a lot of space. Inside of an external filter is very similar though. You have sponge and you have media in certain trays. Now the actual combination and design of the external filter changes from manufacturer to manufacturer, however it's a very similar principle. So let's take a bit of a closer look at these filters. Now why would you choose an internal filter over an external filter, considering the fact that they are bigger, there's more media to them, they generally have a stronger pump and will give you more flow? Well, internal filters are just a little bit more easier to use. So for instance, all you have to do is put them in your aquarium, turn them on, and away you go. When it comes to maintenance of an internal filter, normally you just take the sponge out, give it a quick rinse and put it back in, or replace any pads as necessary. Internal filters tend to be a lot smaller, they go into your tank and don't take up a lot of space, and will give you a reasonable amount of flow and filtration. So really they are ideal for a small aquarium, anything less than around 100 litres. Once you get above 100 litres, internal filters are still okay, however it does pay to upgrade to an external filter if you can. Another reason why you may use an internal filter over an external is simply lack of space. You do require to have a cabinet with an external filter, so if you don't have that, then an internal will serve you just fine. So now let's have a look at external filters. So external filters, as I've mentioned, are a lot bigger and they sit below your aquarium. They normally have a stronger pump than an internal filter and therefore a higher flow rate. The actual amount of media inside the filter is a lot bigger than an internal filter, so you do get an overall better filtration experience. The filter is hidden out of the aquarium, freeing up valuable space for your display, and also it means that your aquarium looks a bit cleaner without a big box in the corner. Generally, I find external filters to be far superior over internal filters. External filters can go a lot longer without being cleaned than internal filters because of the extra space given to you by the trays. When cleaning an external filter, it can be a lot longer job than an internal, and this is because you need to disconnect the filter from the aquarium, open up the filter casing, and then remove, replace and clean the filter media. This can be a bit of a longer job than an internal filter, so externals can take a bit longer and are a little bit more work. Now you may have noticed that both these filters are rated for the same volume. So the Fluval U2 is 110 litres and the Fluval 106 is 100 litres. But how can that be? Well, they're designed for different stocking levels. So this is 100 litres of lightly stocked aquarium with small fish, and this is 100 litres of heavily stocked aquarium with slightly larger fish. Now also you'll note the flow rate. On this one it's 400 litres an hour, and on this one it's 550 litres an hour. So they're not identical. External filters are generally better than internal filters, there's no doubt about that, but each of them have their role to play. If you have a simple aquarium with normal community fish and you don't overstock it or feed too much, then an internal filter tends to be a good choice. They are also very easy to clean and maintain, taking up very little time. Whereas if you require extra filtration, more flow, and don't mind the extra time it takes to clean, then the external filter is always the better choice. Externals always give you a better performance than an internal filter and will keep your fish and aquarium healthier. Another thing to note is that external filters do tend to be more expensive than internal filters, but they are always worth the extra cost. Some external filters come with extra additions, such as auto primes or UVs. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to like the video and also subscribe to my channel. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you for watching, and happy fish keeping!